The moment I saw my sister's name on the client contract I'd spent months securing, my stomach dropped. There it was, her signature, right under my proposal, like my work had never existed. I could still hear her voice from last night's dinner, pretending she cared about how nervous I was for the pitch. I trusted her. I told her everything. Now, standing in my office, that trust shattered into 1,000 sharp pieces. The client had chosen her because she'd presented my exact plan. The betrayal wasn't just professional, it was personal. That was the day I decided. I wouldn't cry, I wouldn't beg, and I wouldn't forgive. If my sister wanted to climb over me to rise higher, fine. I'd just make sure that one day, she'd be working for me. Tell me, what would you do if your own sister stabbed you in the back like that? Would you confront her, or would you quietly build something so big that she'd regret underestimating you? My name's Alyssa Kane, and for most of my life, my sister Harper was my best friend. We were only 2 years apart, inseparable, competitive in everything from grades to hairstyles, but always laughing about it. I was the serious one, spreadsheets, strategy, late nights. Harper was charming, social, and had a smile that opened doors. When I started my own marketing consultancy in Denver, I invited her to join as my partner. I thought it would be the dream. 2 sisters, 1 vision. At first, it was. She learned quickly, brought in smaller clients, and we were thriving. Then came Redbrook Apparel, a massive client I'd chased for nearly a year. It was the biggest proposal I'd ever written. My ticket to the next level. One Friday morning, I got a call from their CEO congratulating me, or so I thought. Instead, he said, "We're excited to work with Harper's firm." Her pitch was brilliant. I froze. Her firm? When I confronted Harper, she smiled and said, "It's just business. LYSS. Don't take it so personally." That was the moment something in me broke. She hadn't just stolen my client. She'd stolen my trust, my time, and my dream. For weeks, I couldn't look at her. Every time I tried to work, that contract haunted me. The betrayal didn't just hurt, it humiliated me. Mutual friends whispered about how Harper outsmarted me. Even our parents tried to stay neutral, telling me, "You two will work it out." But they didn't understand. This wasn't a sibling fight. This was theft. I remember one night sitting in my car outside Redbrook's building, just staring at the logo. It should have been mine. My proposal. My presentation. My future. I thought about calling her, screaming at her, exposing everything. But something in me said no. Instead, I poured my rage into silence. I started waking up at 5 a.m., reading business, law, leadership books, anything to keep me from falling apart. If Harper had used my ambition against me, I'd use her betrayal as my weapon. A few months later, I landed a project with Sterling Collective, a rival marketing firm known for swallowing smaller agencies whole. They liked my ideas, my real ideas. They offered me a director position within weeks. Meanwhile, Harper was bragging online about her new client, posting success photos, acting like she'd built everything from scratch. It stung, but I didn't clap back. Because deep down I knew revenge was better served cold, and I was just getting started. I kept tabs on Harper's agency quietly. I watched her make all the mistakes I once warned her about, hiring fast, spending faster, ignoring client relationships. She thought her charm would carry her forever. At Sterling, I worked like someone possessed. My strategies turned campaigns viral, and within a year, I was promoted to Vice President of Brand Strategy. My boss, Daniel Reeves, once told me, "You're built to lead, Alyssa. Ever thought of running your own division?" I smiled because I already knew exactly which division I wanted to lead next. When Sterling began acquiring smaller agencies to expand its reach, guess whose struggling little company ended up on the list? Harper's. I didn't push it, I didn't have to. I just watched as the corporate machine slowly turned, bringing my sister's world straight into mine. The day of the merger, Harper strutted into the conference room wearing confidence like perfume. She had no idea. When Daniel introduced me, her new direct supervisor, the color drained from her face. For a second, she looked like the little sister I used to protect. Then, her jaw tightened. "Alyssa," she said flatly, "didn't expect to see you here." I smiled, calm, and professional. Oh, I'm sure you didn't. The room went silent. I led the presentation on Sterling's restructuring plan, detailing how each department would report to me. Every eye turned to Harper when I announced the creative team's new reporting structure. After the meeting, she cornered me. You planned this, didn't you? I met her glare. No, Harper. You did. The day you stole from me. She tried to protest, but there was nothing left to say. Over the next few months, she had to attend my meetings, take my direction, and sign off on my strategies. And I never once humiliated her publicly. My silence, my success did it for me. One evening, as we left the office, she finally whispered, "You win." I looked at her and said softly, "It was never a game, Harper. You just forgot who taught you how to play." Revenge didn't feel the way I expected it to. I thought I'd feel triumphant, maybe even satisfied watching her face fall that first day. But instead, I felt tired. Harper wasn't a villain in a movie. She was my sister. The same girl I once shared bunk beds and midnight secrets with. And seeing her shrink into the version of herself she'd created, desperate, defensive, small, it didn't bring joy. It just reminded me that betrayal always costs more than either side expects. But I did learn something powerful. Silence and success are louder than revenge ever could be. I didn't have to destroy her to prove my worth. I just had to rise on my own terms. Forgiving her didn't mean forgetting. It meant freeing myself from the bitterness she planted. And for the first time in a long time, I slept peacefully, not because she lost, but because I finally stopped needing to win. It's been 2 years since that merger. Harper eventually left the company to start over somewhere else, and we rarely speak, but that's okay. Some relationships heal best with distance. As for me, I now run my own division at Sterling, mentoring young women who remind me of myself, ambitious, hopeful, maybe a little naive. When they tell me about toxic coworkers or stolen ideas, I smile and say, "Don't waste your energy on revenge. Use it to build something no one can steal." I even kept the old Red Brook proposal, the one Harper took, framed on my office shelf. Not as a reminder of pain, but of progress. Because if she hadn't betrayed me, I might never have learned what I was capable of. Sometimes, the people who break us are just showing us where we're strongest. And the sweetest revenge isn't seeing them fall, it's realizing you didn't need them to rise. You know, people always say revenge changes you, and they're right. It made me sharper, wiser, and more protective of my peace. But it also taught me that true power isn't payback, it's self-control. Sometimes revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about finding yourself again. So, tell me, if someone you loved betrayed you, would you fight back? Or would you build yourself so high they'd have to look up just to see you? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe if you believe that success is the best revenge.